All right, so today I got for y'all week one prep videos. It went all right. My squats definitely lacked. Unfortunately, I think due to like 4 or 5 weeks from low bar squatting, then 4 or 5 weeks of high bar squatting, and then trying to go back to low bar, I kind of should ease back into low bar and kind of remembered my technique, my cues, and whatnot. I think that's kind of set me back till this week, and I'm just starting week. I just finished my third week, and that's something to keep in mind when you're programming. That just because you used to be able to squat this week weight easily 3 weeks ago doesn't mean you still can. Um, Transitioning back to low bar has been kind of difficult, honestly. Anyways, let's watch the squat. So I am squatting here 190 kilograms, 418 pounds. It's supposed to be for six, which I feel like before my low bar, I mean, before my high bar stint, I really could have, but I was only able to get it for three. Um, I definitely could have pushed a little bit more. I think I probably could have gotten like four, maybe five out of it, but my hip was hurting insanely bad. And I think it was due to how close my feet were compared to if you watch my older videos, they're a little bit wider. And I think that's just because I was used to my high bar stance and I didn't even, and then maybe I used a high bar cue instead of one of my low bar ones. So that was just something that I experienced and I'm gonna have to think about in the future. I think it's good exploring other rep ranges and techniques outside and like you're outside of what you typically use, but you just got to make sure to ease back into what you typically use because it's going to be different cues and stuff. So unfortunately, squats weren't as good as they usually are, but it's one of those things we live and learn and we keep on pushing. Let's move on to deadlifts. I can't really play the audio in this one because there's a lot of music going on in the background clip, but this is 200 kilograms, 440 pounds for 5 reps. And I do remember these feeling very strong. And they're looking strong. I'm looking like I got a lot of speed. Usually after the third rep in deadlifts is when I get kind of tired. You can start seeing my chest get out of position. But I stayed really strong on those. I don't think I fell out of position at all. My face ain't that red compared to like what it typically is, but those felt good. I will say, my week two really good, really surprised, and I've even had a little bit of hip pain from the squats, and I don't know where this other kind of pain came from. It's in my butt. It could be a herniated disc kind of situation, but I remember 2 years ago this kind of flaring up, and then just with I keep hinging and just monitoring my fatigue and recovering as best as I can, and it did go away. So I'm not too worried about it. I just got just got to work around it. Let's move on to bench press. All right, just like deadlifts, music going on in the background, so I can't really play the full clip. But 110 kilograms, 242 pounds for six, which I did. This is definitely the best my bench pressing has ever gone. I guess I've really only gone on one other prep. But I don't think I was repping 242 for six at any point. Maybe 225, maybe 210 or something, but 242 for six. That's getting strong. I'm really looking forward to what some doubles and singles are going to look like on bench press. That's because that's where I feel like my form's good. I feel like it's definitely better than it's ever been, but it kind of sucks doing 6 reps because at least for me, by that fifth to sixth rep, even on like an RPE 7 or 8, I'm coming out of position. And I mean, maybe that's like, oh, you should work on your positioning better, but I can't. I mean, it's one I'm trying to, but it is what it is. Like I still got to go for those 6 reps, and I want to keep that weight up higher. I don't feel like that's ego lifting. And when I say coming out of position, I don't mean like my shoulders are protracting or anything like that that's gonna hurt me. It's more of like my legs kind of, or I'm losing my arc a little bit or something. It's more of that. So not as severe as like protracting and risking messing up a shoulder. But that is week one. I'm gonna try to get that out today, and then I'm also gonna record week two's video today and just have that kind of ready and probably record that or release that in the next 3 or 4 days or next week, honestly. And that way I'm on like a rotation of, I'm not trying to rush to get this week's video out or something. That sounds like a good idea. I think I'll do it like that. Anyways, thank y'all for watching. Hope you enjoy.